Guys, welcome to Aragonite down in Santan Valley. We are here to talk about the construction costs of what we're going to end up spending on this property and what it's going to take to get this house back to rent ready. We just bought this house subject to, so come on inside and let's... So, hey guys, come on inside the property. Here's what's happened is the seller has told us that the property is almost finished. And if you take a look around, you'll see that the drywall is completely done, which is great. The trim is almost done, which is great, but take a look down at the floors. The floors are covered in drywall dust, so we've got to either clean that up or we've got to replace that tile depending on how significant the damage is. So that's really not the most extensive part of this remodel. So come into this kitchen and you're going to see that the seller tore the kitchen out and obviously ran out of money, or somebody screwed up, or maybe a contractor screwed him, took his money and then ran off with the money. I don't know. But if you take a look in the kitchen, there is no kitchen. The appliances are left behind, which is great. So part of our renovation, guys, part of our renovation is that the drywall was left behind. So that requires labor, it requires effort. Somebody has to come in here and pull that out of the house and haul it somewhere else. Luckily, we've got a whole bunch of other projects going on, so we can use this drywall, but still, you have to equate that into your budget. Other people will look at this and go, oh, free drywall. It's really not free. It's going to cost me a couple $100s to lift it up, put it on a trailer, and haul it to the other side of town because of how far and remote this location is. So something to think about when you're going through and doing your renovation budget. So take a look at the kitchen. We can do a budget kitchen, Home Depot, Lowe's. We know also multiple locations where you can buy used kitchens that we can just kind of refurbish and throw in here and probably buy them and install them for about $1,500 or less. The countertops, I would say we're going to go with a really, really cheap granite, just a neutral color. Granite's better because it avoids water damage. It avoids, somebody drops a fork or something and it doesn't chip the formica. Granite is a way better choice. So right here with the appliances, we're going to repurpose these appliances, just clean them up because it is a rental. We're not going to take this to full retail. The reality is because we bought this house subject to, we were able to pay more money for it because we were given the VA loan that's underlying. And that VA loan justified us paying a little bit more money for the property. There's really not a lot of equity in this deal, but the cash flow is really, really good. So we'll keep the appliances in place and just leave it at that. On the outside of the property, we just got the air conditioning units replaced. So we've got air conditioning unit 1 was here from 18 years ago, and it just got replaced. Luckily, not by us. The seller who sold the property to us just got that replaced a couple of weeks ago. So I'd say the renovation on the total outside of the house, probably about $1,000 for cleanup and maybe gravel installation. But overall, I think the biggest thing that I worry about on this property is the floor. So I'm going to have Riley get a couple of good shots of the floor to see what you guys think about whether we should replace it or not. We really won't know until we come in, clean it all off, and see if the paint, the grime, and all the drywall dust comes off of it. But I think it's a possibility we can save it and keep our budget closer to the $15,000 mark. Hey guys, we're upstairs inside the house in Aragonite. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms upstairs, which makes this house a 5-bedroom house with a massive loft. And actually at one point you can see here with the carpet tack is that they used to have a closet here as well. So they probably had 6 bedrooms here, tons of kids. This is actually a really good rental. It houses a bunch of people, and sometimes you'll have 2 different families renting the same house from you that are maybe mom and dad live downstairs and grandma and grandpa live downstairs. They're closer to the kitchen and they don't have to walk up and down the stairs. The parents and the kids live upstairs. This is a killer rental, honestly. So really the only thing that needs to happen up here in Aragonite is carpet, finish out the outlets, trim out certain parts of the house, switch out. Take a look at this. I hate, more than anything else, I hate brass lighting. But at the end of the day, it is a rental, so we'll probably end up keeping that stuff. The bathrooms really don't need much other than vanities. So you'll see inside of here, we need a vanity, we need a little bit of hardware, maybe a doorknob or 2. Carpet, doorknobs, clean the ceiling fans, and that's about it for here. But inside the master bathroom, we have no vanity. So we also have the ability to make a decision. Right now, the house is set up for one sink. We can turn this into two sinks while the vanity's not in here, which is probably what we'll end up doing. For resale value, many years down the road, it'll be better for us to have two sinks. So the total cost of this renovation, in my estimate, is about $22,000. And here's how I would break that down. You've got cleanup and demo, probably about $500 to $700. You've got new flooring downstairs. We're going to take out that tile, put new flooring down there. That's about $5,000. Kitchen, countertops, installation, all that is about $7,000. So just between those things, you're at $13,000. Well, guess what? Now we've got a little bit of landscape. We've got interior paint. We've got carpet. We've got miscellaneous lighting and hardware and door handles and all that kind of stuff. And then we've got cleaning and final landscape and listing photos. So we're about $22,000 all into the renovation on a property like this. However, if we can keep the flooring downstairs, clean it up, get the paint and the drywall dust off, we probably can squeeze that renovation cost with no demo for the tile and no replacement of the tile, probably closer to the $15,000 mark, making that a really good sweet spot. We want to stay under $20,000 because you can get in and out with a renovation on a $15,000 reno probably within 10 days or less. So let's go outside and I'll tell you how we found the deal, the structure of the deal, and how much money we're going to make on the subject to transaction turning into either a lease option or a rental. Here in Santan Valley, we're at a property called Aragonite. We bought this property from a seller with a VA loan. We took over the loan in a process called Subject To, which means we purchased the property with the existing debt in place. We took deed and title, but we did not wipe out the underlying debt. We just took over the responsibility for it. So the reason we did that is because this house has very little equity, but the ability to buy it, take over his mortgage at $1,300 and turn around and rent it out for $1,900 gives us a really good spread to make some cash flow on this property. So come on with me. We're going to walk through the property. We're going to talk about how much it's going to cost us to put the property back into a rent-ready situation. The outside of the house actually looks really good. We came to the property and these cars right next to us, it made us feel like somebody was still in the property. Turns out it's just the neighbors next door that are just using the parking space, which we actually appreciate because it keeps people away from the property. We thought somebody was still living here, ironically. It's gonna make other people believe the same thing and keep people away from the property.